Hello, everyone, and thank you again for playing our Big South Network weekly guide, our chance to take you through the programming. We are video streaming at BigSouthSports.com through the Big South Network. Men's and women's basketball, virtually all in conference play, and some very big matchups on the horizon this week. I'm Mark Bryant, coordinator of new media for the Big South. Very happy to be with you, and pleased to take you through these games. Remind you, if you need to contact me, I'm Mark B. at BigSouth.org. Now, here's the lineup for the men, starting with Thursday night and starting with the big one. There should actually be like lights and flashing and strobing around this one. Radford at Coastal Carolina. It's one that's been marked for a while since each of these teams had a lightning-quick start to the conference season. Coastal Carolina, still undefeated, has won 12 in a row, 16-2 overall, 6-0 in conference, holding first place and welcoming Radford, the preseason favorite, still only one conference loss at 4-1 and tied for second place. A lot of eyes on Radford going into this year, and so with Coastal's incredible beginning this season, they are definitely looking forward to getting their hands on the Highlanders. So Highlanders at the Chanticleers Thursday night, 7 o'clock. That would be our headliner, but the undercard isn't bad as well because we've got High Point at Charleston Southern. High Point tied with Radford for second at 4-1. Charleston Southern at 3-3, but with a schedule upcoming that allows them to make some noise and make some moves. That's a 7:30 tip. Of course, the other games all at 7. The Radford Coastal matchup we discussed, Gardner-Webb at Liberty, and UNC Asheville at VMI. Now, Asheville, VMI, Gardner-Webb, those teams all have one win each. They're all 1-4. Liberty 3-2. So they have a bit of a leg up on the others. But it all starts Thursday night for the week with 7 o'clock tips from Conway, Lynchburg, Lexington, and Charleston coming in just after at 7:30. So look for those. And then they're off Friday, of course, but back in action on Saturday. And it begins in the afternoon with a 2 o'clock tip. Coastal at it again. They host first one of the two teams tied for second currently, and then the other. High Point visiting Coastal Carolina, so 4-1 against 6-0 as we record this. Of course, those records will differ by the time they play. We'll have to see how that turns out and who's in first, second, and third coming out of this very big weekend of Big South basketball. The games set for 7 o'clock tip-offs for Saturday. Gardner-Webb at VMI, Asheville at Liberty, and Winthrop at Presbyterian College, 7:30. Radford at Charleston Southern. And again, as I said, CSU in an interesting position. They appear to be on the outside of that upper group, but with a couple wins against that upper group in these games, they have a chance to sort of change the picture. So keep an eye on Charleston Southern as well. We'll have to see how all this develops. Again, the weekend will have a lot to say about the race upcoming for Big South men's basketball. Looking forward to a really good stretch run this season, starting with this weekend's games as we get from January and more toward February, when every game becomes critical. Now, on the women's side, we've got 8 games there, 9 men's games this week, 8 women's games for 17 total streaming game offerings for you on the Big South Network. On the women's side, Saturday we've got a quartet of games for you. UNC Asheville at Radford, that's at 3. A pair of games at 4, Winthrop at High Point and Presbyterian College at Liberty. Liberty has a January home win streak of 40 games now. Pretty heavy stuff. They'll, of course, be heavily favored with PC coming in, but this is why you play the games. You never know. And Gardner-Webb at Charleston Southern, that will start at 5 o'clock at CSU. And the remaining games for the week, all on Monday. We won't have any for you on Tuesday or Wednesday this time out. The women's slate for Monday the 18th. This is our one out-of-conference game out of all of our 17 games of the week. Wingate at CSU. Excuse me. So Wingate goes down the highway to Charleston, 7 o'clock. All these games, 7 o'clock tips. Winthrop at Coastal Carolina, UNC Asheville at Liberty, and PC at Radford. So that's our lineup for the week in men's and women's basketball on the Big South Network. Remind you, you will not only find us at the home base, the mothership, BigSouthSports.com, but also through our various sites and services and affiliates around the internet. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Blogger, we are out there. Find us however you like to follow your information, and by all means follow us, friend us, fan us, whatever you like to call it, and stick with us. The Big South Conference, trying to keep you informed and entertained and enjoy the season from all kinds of different perspectives. Remind you, as you want these games, you can get them by the game, by the sport, by the season if you want multi-sports, or by the year, which is, of course, your best deal. You order once, and then you get all our events, hundreds of them, literally about 600 live events streaming over the course of a calendar year. Well worth it. Now, should you encounter any technical trouble, always want to keep you informed about that. You contact our web and streaming hosts with Jump TV. You can call them at 877-967-3267 or email fansupport@jumptv.com. Again, I'm Mark Bryant, the coordinator of new media for the Big South Conference. Thank you for listening all the way through to the end here of our Big South Network guide, and remind you that we've got great games available every week through BigSouthSports.com and the Big South Network. And next time we talk, we'll even have some wrestling to throw in the mix as we work our way through the end of January at that time. So thanks so much. Have a good time. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you back here.